All right. Good evening. It's Tuesday, March 3rd, 2026 at 6:30 p.m. This is the City of Franklin Common Council meeting. Madam Clerk, will you please take the roll?
Mayor Nelson.
Here.
Alderman Pecorelli.
Here.
Alderwoman Eichen.
Here.
Alderman Hassan.
Here.
Alderwoman Day.
Here.
Alderman Salus.
Here.
Alderman Craig.
Present.
Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, if anybody's noticed, there's a few changes tonight. I'm going to read a prepared statement from our IT director, Mr. James Metalski. This is an email dated today at 4:39 p.m. Subject, video mixer, no power. The Common Council meeting tonight is recorded in audio only, as the video mixer unit that controls cameras, projectors, and streaming devices does not have power. The external power adapter failed this afternoon and a new one is on order. Video streams to YouTube will also be non-functional due to the equipment failure. Audio recording for the meeting will be placed on the City of Franklin website and can be downloaded. Thank you for your patience during this inconvenience. Mr. James Metalski, Director of Information Technology. So, we will now transition to citizen comment period. As I read this every time, City of Franklin meeting rules of decorum for attendees and participants. For those attending City of Franklin meetings, number 1, respectful and orderly conduct is expected at all times. Number 2, disruptive and or unruly behavior, including but not limited to clapping, verbal disruptions, signs, and outbursts, will not be tolerated. For those wishing to speak during City of Franklin meetings, number 1, approach the microphone when the chair opens the floor for citizen comments. Number 2, state your name and address for the record. Number 3, address your comments to the Common Council, Board, Commission, or Committee only. Number 4, limit your comments to 3 minutes or less. Number 5, no endorsements or electioneering are allowed. Number 6, speakers shall refrain from presenting unduly repetitious, offensive, threatening, slanderous, defamatory, or obscene remarks. Number 7, persons wishing to speak as a spokesperson on behalf of a neighborhood, subdivision, homeowners, condominium, or business association or similar group with common interests shall demonstrate their qualifications to do so according to the City of Franklin Resolution number 2007-6227 before speaking on that body's behalf. 8, questions may be answered immediately by the chair or referred to city staff for a future reply in a timely manner. Those then adhering to these rules of decorum for attendees and participants will be asked to leave or be removed from the meeting if necessary. Again, this is laminated. It's up at the podium. The second document I read is the Chapter 19 Council Proceedings. Under Citizen Comment Period, during the Citizen Comment Period, no person shall speak for longer than 3 minutes at each council meeting unless the City Council shall direct otherwise to an individual. City Council direction may take the form of unanimous consent. And that was back in 2009. Under 1976 is the order. So with that, I'd like to, now since Supervisor, you're the first one, please tap to make sure that it is working.
Tap. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I was going to say Mr. Chairman, but thank you, Mayor. I was going to ask, because I'm here this evening speaking on behalf of the residents of Greendale in my capacity as County Supervisor, if I could be given the grace to have more than 3 minutes.
So what we'll start with again, Supervisor, is your name and the business
sure.
address.
So it's Kathleen Vincent, 6803 West Grange Avenue, Greendale.
Great. And if there's a motion to suspend the rules to allow her to speak for longer than 3 minutes.
Motion to suspend the rules.
Second.
First and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Ayes have. Motion carries. Go ahead. Good evening and welcome.
Thank you, and thank you to all of you. I think I've had a chance to reach out to each one of the council members and the mayor over the past few days. I'm going to start by saying I was supposed to be somewhere else tonight, but the residents of Greendale do matter to me, and so I'm here in my capacity as a supervisor to speak on behalf of those residents. As you may know, I serve as the Milwaukee County Supervisor for District 11. It serves all of Greendale, the east side of Greenfield, and the southwest side of Milwaukee. I am your neighbor just to the north in Greendale. Thank you for this opportunity to speak tonight. As many of you know, I have come before this body previously to advocate on behalf of my residents. I am here again this evening in response to concerns that have been raised after your February 18th meeting, where a resident was asked, where are the representatives of Greendale? Why haven't we seen anyone from Greendale in a long time? Just as you, I wear many hats, and so I serve on 6 boards. I'm school board member, county board member, and a teacher. So I can't always be everywhere all the time, but I have made every effort to be at these meetings because the residents of Greendale do deserve to have a voice when things are impacting them. I want to be clear, when a resident does take the time to come before this body with concerns, their voice should stand on its own merit. It shouldn't rely just on an elected official coming and speaking on their behalf. They should not be required to justify whether their elected officials are present. Their concerns are valid, regardless of who is seated behind them. That said, I am here tonight. Like many of you, I wear several hats, as I mentioned, in public service. And while I cannot always attend every meeting, that does not mean that I and other elected officials in my district are not actively engaged or monitoring issues that affect our residents. We are here and we also take these matters seriously. The discussion is not about opposing entertainment or business development. As a matter of fact, I've recently had a chance to be at the business venue, and I think there's some great merit to what you have going on here. I want to acknowledge, though, that there have been strides made in working with the Rock Sports Complex to address concerns. However, we cannot ignore the ongoing impact that large-scale, high-volume events have on our neighboring communities, including those outside of the city of Franklin. Noise concerns originating from the Rock have been documented over several years, even before I became supervisor. A county commission sound study confirmed that noise levels have exceeded acceptable limits. Additionally, the village of Greendale previously sent correspondence requesting that noise standards comparable to Greendale's apply to the Rock, that the number of extraordinary events be limited, and that surrounding municipalities receive proper notice of special events and fireworks. According to village manager Mike Haas, no response was ever received, and there does not appear to be formal mechanism in place for coordinated event approvals or shared enforcement. Being good neighbors requires transparency, communication, and shared accountability, and that is what I'm asking for tonight. I have reached out and spoken with you, all of you, really, or several of you, and during those conversations, a comparison actually was made to Greendale Village Days. That came up just this afternoon or this morning. Respectfully, Village Days is a once-a-year event, properly permitted community event in Greendale. It is fundamentally different from hosting multiple large-scale concerts and extraordinary events in close proximity to residential neighborhoods. The scale, frequency, and documented impact are not comparable. The fact that this body tabled the proposed country concert at the last meeting tells me that there are legitimate concerns about the appropriateness of this event. Events of this nature are known for extremely high sound levels and at times explicit language and even conduct that further impacts families in surrounding neighborhoods. There are also very racial epitaphs that have been heard in my community from the events in this community. I have nothing against this event venue, as I mentioned before. I support responsible economic activity and entertainment, but that support must be balanced with respect for the residents who live nearby on all sides of the municipal boundary. Tonight, I respectfully ask this body to vote down the proposed country concert permit due to the proven disruption past events have caused. I also urge you to work collaboratively with surrounding communities to establish clearer standards, coordinated communication, and enforceable noise expectations moving forward. I am going to compliment, because the Tacos and Tequila event A year ago, I was in touch with the sheriff's department, and I drove by for over an hour that day, and it was really well run. So I do want you to know I have noticed strides that this community has taken. That being said, this is about listening to residents, even when you have heard from them before. It doesn't matter if you've heard from them once, 10 times, or 20. And sometimes as an elected officials, I will say, we don't always agree with the people that come to us with things, and we might even get annoyed at times. I get annoyed at times, but that doesn't mean that we stop listening. It's really important to listen and understand what the root cause of any concerns are, especially when you have heard from them before. I appreciate your time and consideration, and I do remain hopeful that together we can find a balanced and lasting resolution. So I thank you for your time, and thank you for the extended time as well. Thank you.
Thank you, Supervisor. Anyone else wishing to speak? If you are looking to speak, please let's do a lineup as best we can, just so we can move things along, because we have a long night. Colonel, good evening.
There aren't enough for everybody. They're going to have to share.
Sharing is caring. Your city attorney gets one.
Thank you for your time. I'm Robert Montgomery. I live at 8570 South 116th Street in Franklin, Wisconsin. You have before you an email that I sent to the city engineer, Michael Paulus, who was done over 2.5 weeks ago. You'll see some underlining in red. And what I asked the city engineer to do was retrieve the old file that the City of Engineering Department has regarding my property. I then asked him to review the file and get back to me. As of today, he hasn't gotten back to me. There may be extenuating circumstances. I don't know what they are. But I thought I'd bring it to your attention that when I ask a simple question of a city employee, I expect a simple answer. And being ignored is not one of the answers I'm looking for. And at the top, you'll see the word why. Why does this happen? What's the purpose of not responding to a citizen's request? I don't know the answer. I'm not sure that you know the answer, but hopefully you'll be able to discover the answer. And as always, I like to bring a solution. If Michael Paulus is too busy and overwhelmed, get a citizen committee together. We'll volunteer, and we'll help take some of the workload off. Not sure that's the reason, but I always like to offer a solution. That's it. If you have any questions, shoot them at me. If not, I'm out of here.
Thank you, Colonel. Good night. Good evening, ma'am.
Good evening.
Joy Draginas-Zangala, 7573 Highview Drive, Greendale. City of Franklin Common Council, I just handed out to you just 3 of the songs from 3 of the artists that are expected to be at Tacos and Tequila and the Country Festival in Franklin. First, I would like to address some of the points made at the last Common Council meeting I was unable to attend. To share there were no violations, to state there were no violations is rather misleading, as the Chief of Police wrote in 2024 email, and I quote, "A quick review of random sound events did not reveal events with decibel levels under 74 decibels. From my understanding, the monitors have not been calibrated and oftentimes were found to be off, in which Mr. Zimmerman acknowledged at the Taco sound check last year. So if the issues with the monitors have not been addressed, how are we certain no violations occurred, when this is the source of reference for the PD and the city? This is also stated in the JPM Amendment Phase A. I quote, Frequency analysis is not collected by existing rock monitors or any audio under 75 decibels. So who's telling the truth? I find great concern with the approvals regarding fireworks starting at 10:25 p.m. if need be. People work on the weekends, and most children are asleep prior to this. The approval to allow the umbrella bar to operate at 65 decibels at the property line is once again irresponsible and reckless. The noise coming from the bands is intrusive and annoying even when the doors and windows are closed. We are unable to open our windows as the sound carries into our homes, or we are trying to relax and enjoy company. This is simply wrong on every level. Now I would like to voice my concerns and disgust for the lyrics of the majority of the artists planned for Tacos and Tequila and Country Rising events at The Rock. I have supplied each of you with a few of the song lyrics to look at and read into record if you feel comfortable doing so. Or you could share them with your constituents. I can also play a few songs for you if you'd like to hear for yourselves. At the last Common Council meeting, Mayor Nelson, you stated numerous times it would be reckless to deny or table these events. What I find reckless is a city and its elected officials finding these lyrics appropriate or acceptable to be knowingly broadcast over speakers for hours into residential areas. Not to mention wanting 79 decibels at the property line, which in turn means it would have to be at a minimum of 90 or more decibels in the event space to reach 2 or more of the monitors. Sadly, this has been an ongoing issue for 4 years now, and we are in a worse state than 2 years ago. How is this making progress or regressing? When something has worked and mitigated some of the issues, you don't push the envelope and ask for more. Many of the noise issues concerning the Taco and Tequila, Country Rising, and Umbrella Bar events could have been addressed and most likely mitigated by now had the sound study been started in July as requested by the neighbors. Unfortunately now, the city is in a tug of war over the scope of work in which it was approved and how much it will cost. Thank you.
Mr. Kleist.
Andy Kleist, 6025 Bethany Road. I'd just like to echo some of the comments from Joy regarding agenda item G6, the Country Rising permit. Currently, the monitors at the Rock are programmed to ignore noise below 75 decibels, as Joy stated. However, the ordinance limit for surrounding residential and park areas are 50 decibels and 45 decibels after 10 p.m. Page 2, item 5 of Resolution 2024-8109, which was passed unanimously, states the burden of proof is on the operator. By using equipment that fails to record low frequency or sub 75 decibel noise, the operator has failed that burden and the requirement for continuous decibel monitoring. You do not need a sound study to lab calibrate monitors that haven't been certified since 2019. You do not need a sound study to reprogram the monitors to record files at the actual legal limit of 45 decibels and above. If the sound monitors cannot comply with Resolution 2024-8109, how is the material violation actually determined? Is that possible to determine one currently with nothing recording below 74 decibels?
Well, I'm going to answer questions after this, but I'm not going to get into a technical weeds thing on this because I know you speak here every meeting, and I understand that. And you bring up the same points every time, and that's what I do not believe. And when you're talking about field calibration versus lab calibration, I'll get into some of that when we close this off.
Okay. I am asking this council to stop the noise levels for all events at the Rock that cross into surrounding neighborhoods and parks. Furthermore, I urge you to oppose Country Rising, where profane language will broadcast into our communities. You are under no obligation to approve this permit. Again, it is your duty to follow the laws you swore to uphold, not selectively enforce them to suit the interests of one business while the surrounding residents suffer. Thank you.
Mrs. Knoll, good evening.
Naomi Knoll, 8610 West Hawthorne
You
Lane.
may want to bring it down a little. There you go. There you go.
Naomi Knoll, 8610 West Hawthorne Lane. Regarding the Rock concerts and blaring noise and foul language into large numbers of Franklin residents' yards and homes. I would like to see real enforcement of sound boundaries. That hasn't happened yet. I see a win-win situation when The Rock, before any future concert approval, has in place a working system that keeps any concert or other noise sounds inside their own property. Then they can have their concert they want, and Franklin residents can have their peace and quiet.
Thank you, Mrs. Knoll.
Linda Manfred, 7321, excuse me, 7321 Burn Drive. I am also speaking on agenda item G6 to ask the council to not approve this two-day event. Proposed for Friday, May 29th, Country Rising, the headliner, Big X the Plug, is known for songs with vulgar and explicit language, often carrying parental advisory warnings. Honestly, what's country about that? Saturday's performers for Tacos and Tequila are also controversial and not suitable for a neighborhood venue. My request is not about opposing business or community events. It's about protecting our residential neighbors and making sure large events meet fair, reasonable standards. Previous events show that extremely loud music travels far beyond the venue, reaching homes over a mile away, including mine. Residents have reported the elevated sound and improper lyrics that can be heard inside their home. Families should not have to close windows, leave their property, or change their daily routines to avoid content that they did not choose to hear. Accountability has also been lacking. Promises from the owner last year to manage language were not kept. Mr. Zimmerman stated at the last Common Council meeting that the content cannot be controlled because a third-party company runs the events. How can the city confidently approve another event that's under the same structure? There is also unfinished work. The sound study was done, but mitigation measures have not been implemented. Approving extraordinary events before these corrective steps are in place puts undue strain on residents. If this event is considered at all, clear conditions must be set. Maybe a 55 decibel sound limit so noise stays on the property, and potential violations of Ordinance 183-51 for indecent conduct and language should be addressed. Enforcement procedures and immediate consequences must be defined and formally documented here tonight. This should also be communicated to the Franklin Police Department so they have a clear authority to act. Finally, at its core, this is about balance. Economic activity matters, but so does residents' right to enjoy their homes without disruption. I urge you to prioritize neighborhood quality of life and decline approval of these events in its current form. Thank you for your consideration.
Dana Gint, 9011 West Hawthorne Lane. I am the representative of the Hawthorne neighborhood. I want to express several concerns. First of all, The Rock claimed there were 8 complaints in the packet. There is no information in the public packet regarding complaints or the required sound control plan mandated by the 2024 noise resolution. As the designated contact during the 2025 taco event, I received at least 40 contacts made from residents of all directions, mostly about profanity and extremely offensive language. The problem is amplified profanity, vulgarity, and explicit content being projected into family neighborhoods for miles. This is not protected speech when it is broadcast into unwilling listeners' homes, and it is not permitted under Franklin's own laws, including nuisance 178. Neighbors contacted me about repeated F words, sexual language, and explicit commentary that would be shut down instantly inside this chamber if I said these words. This is fundamentally a public decency and public nuisance issue, and the law is very clear that profanity amplified into homes is not allowed. Second, I do not understand why this discussion is happening tonight when there is no data showing how profanity will be abated at the property line or how excessive noise carrying for miles will be mitigated. The delays in the sound study were not caused by the consultant. They were caused by the city and The Rock. The city issued the RFP in February of 2025 and selected an independent consultant in March. And every delay after that was tied to the Rock's refusal to sign the access agreement. Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel reported on May 7th that the Rock agreed to allow the site access. Yet the city allowed the access agreement to remain unsigned until late August, 90 days after the verbal agreement noted on the Journal-Sentinel and after the selection of JPM. The noise analysis and mitigation recommendations were supposed to occur in early 2025. Delaying this creates many issues. It's also intentional. It was also stated that the city has no control over JPM. The truth is that the city has no control and no attempt to control the Rock and its operations, including intense profanity heard throughout residential neighborhoods in all directions for the past 3 years. Third, the decibel monitors are programmed, managed, and operated by the Rock, and programmed specifically to avoid recording any audio below 75 decibels. Residents have been saying this for years. In 2024, the police chief confirmed that there are no audio recordings below 74 decibels, which is required for enforcement of the permits. In November 2025, JPM confirmed that there are no audio recordings on the Rock monitors below 75 decibels. This ensures that there's no evidence of excessive noise and the result of no violations that the mayor continually repeats. There's no documented profanity or vulgar language broadcast into the neighborhoods because there's no audio recordings. This is purposeful, and the city allows the Rock to continue to manage and program these very monitors meant for enforcement. This is not allowed at the quarry or waste management sites, who also have monitoring devices. Fourth, the city's planning manager in 2020 indicated that noise problems stem from a lack of understanding by the city of its adverse impacts of noise. In 2024, Alderman Barber publicly stated that he did not understand what 55, 60, or 65 decibels means at the residential property line and what it actually impacts on the neighbors. That fact remains true today. Fifth, the solutions to the noise issues have been described as simple and easy since 2023. After each profane concert, explicit content, Mayor Nelson has made the following public assurances. September 19, 2023, after the first taco event broadcasting profanity for miles, Mayor Nelson stated, "The solutions are easy and simple. We're going to address the noise. I've been an alderman for 6 years and a mayor for 6 months. I made those assurances because I felt confident we were going to get things done. I take full responsibility. I will work extremely hard to get this done. Dana, take this date and time down for me. I'm going to get this done." Mayor Nelson, that was September 9th, 2023. That was 896 days ago. In 2024, after the June profane concerts...
895.
Pardon me?
I think it's
895? Okay. In 2025, after the June profane concerts, Mayor Nelson said, "I hate sitting up here defending this stuff. This has to be fixed. I was very crystal clear, my strong stance that I would not tolerate that type of language. We were all in agreement. I don't want that. There's no place for that. Next year, this will be addressed by the promoters 100%. That was in 2024. I can continue on with 2025, but these were all public promises made repeatedly by the mayor and not fulfilled. The mayor and council are fully aware of the explicit profane content that is broadcast for miles each year. Yet approvals continue, enforcement does not occur, and residents remain unprotected. In the city budget, the mayor's job description is the city's chief executive officer responsible for ensuring all ordinances and state laws are followed and enforced. Instead, Mayor Nelson has repeatedly made assurances about resolving profanity and excessive noise while ignoring Chapter 178 nuisances, 183 disorderly conduct, 153.11 noise ordinances, and all the established decibels to protect the surrounding neighborhoods. The Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel quoted the mayor in September 2023, promising an aggressive timeline and stating, "We are one community. We will do this right." And that was when he was confident that he could resolve all the noise issues. That was nearly 900 days ago. Under Chapter 121-9, the Common Council has the authority to modify the time, place, or activities of a special event when the conduct of the event would be contrary to any law, including noise regulations. The profanity is part of this activity and has proven a nuisance for miles. If the mayor ignores his statutory duties, then residents are harmed. As I've stated previously, this is a city-sponsored public nuisance. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else wishing to speak? Kathleen, good evening.
Hi, I'm Kathleen Richard, 10252 West Durant Lane. Kids hear worse than this on the playground, on the bus. I support The Rock, and I wish that I could hear some of their concerts at my house. That would be awesome. And if we didn't have people that were complaining constantly about this mitigation, sound mitigation, it would have been done because of residents that complained to the person taking care of this, did extra work that he shouldn't have did. And now we have to pay for it. Well, I'm one of those taxpayers too, and I'm not overly happy about that. So I say approve it. Thank you.
Thank you, Kathleen.
Good evening, Supervisor Patty Logston, resident of Franklin, 12100 West Belmar Drive. No speech in front of me. This is coming from the heart, you guys. This is getting old. I've asked year after year if we can compromise and we can talk like adults and handle this situation.
You have to state that you're running for office, please.
Oh, I'm running for, I'm in the election, I'm a candidate in the election of the 2026 election on April 7th.
Thank you.
Let me continue. I give kudos to the members that you see up here talking. It's not easy for a citizen to come up here and talk in front of you month after month, requesting everything. I, as a supervisor, for the new people that are on the board, put forth a sound study paid for by Milwaukee County. They came back with a really good report with some very good recommendations to help this. But you know what? For some reason, the owner of The Rock decided he didn't want to follow those recommendations. Not only did he not want to follow them, he wouldn't even let him on his land to do the study. How can you do a study when you can't get on the land? But they did their best. They're a professional group of people. So I am up here humbly asking the Common Council, when you take this vote, to consider what's going on. And do we really want our residents to continue hearing the profanity? I was here with two reporters on two different occasions listening to this. One from a radio station whose father happens to own a home that abuts the Rock, and the other investigative reporter team. So this is common knowledge. People are writing about it. Come on, let's make Franklin a little bit better place, and let's handle this situation once and for all. Thank you.
There'll be one or two more.
Doug White, 11691 West 5 Mile Road, Franksville. I am the village president of Raymond. For any of you that don't know Raymond, we're immediately south of you folks. We share maintenance of the South County Line Road. You guys have from 27th Street to 60th. We have from 60th to 45th. A few weeks ago, I started getting calls from residents in your area complaining about dump trucks. I thought it was kind of interesting. So I went up and I looked, and in the 1 mile between 27th Street and 60th, I passed 12 dump trucks, all come down to one property up there. The road's a mess. My residents are complaining about the dirt on the roads. The road's still dirty. I noticed that you guys have put up a temporary weight limit on that road, but I'm kind of curious what happens next. I mean, when that expires, I got to look out for my residents, and it is a mess. It's a problem. So I don't know what can be done. We stand to the ready to do whatever we can do to assist, but we don't maintain that road portion of the road. But it's a problem, and I'm sure it's a problem for your residents on the north side of that road too. So I just want to come up and express those concerns to you folks, and if there's anything we can do, just let us know, and we stand at the ready.
Thank you.
Kennedy for mayor, Basil Ryan, 5250 West South County Line Road. I wasn't going to speak tonight, but when someone makes a comment that's directed at me, I feel I'm proper to do that. We have taken extraordinary caution. We have a street sweeper every time there's trucks sweeping. There is no residence of Franklin between 27th Street and 60 or 51st. We've had sheriffs come through, we've had Franklin come through, we've had every law enforcement, no tickets have been issued. The street is constantly maintained with a street sweeper again and a skidster. When the weather warms up, the road gets a little stone. The problem is the street sweeper weighs more because the road is posted, so we can't bring the street sweeper back anymore. We've had a smaller street sweeper there that has maintained that when there is no dump trucks running, just to keep that going. So someone could come up and insinuate that the property owner isn't doing anything. It's not accurate and not true. Thank you.
Mr. Pelkey?
Andrew Pelkey, 9320 West Grandview Court. I am here to talk about what everybody else is talking about, but a little bit of a different angle on it. Public nuisance created by excessive noise from the rock has been an ongoing problem. We all know that. And the problem is the sound system. Last year, amplified profanity was broadcast into surrounding residential neighborhoods. Residents heard it inside their homes. Complaints were made, but the problem continues. When this project was first proposed, we were told on the record that a state-of-the-art sound system would be installed and that this noise wouldn't be a problem. That assurance didn't match the outcome. The same sound system is used, if the same sound system is used again, we should expect the same result. This is where the incentive structure matters. The incentive structure is wrong. This is what we need to fix. As long as the permits continue to be issued, allowing the same sound projection beyond the property boundary of the rock, there is no incentive to invest in an upgraded sound system. None. The burden continues to fall on the surrounding residents. When the city grants exceptions to the normal permissible noise limits year after year, the message is clear. The status quo is acceptable. If we want a different outcome, we have to change the incentive. The permits required to hold events at the Rock are the city's best leverage. Deny the permit until the sound system is upgraded to contain sound within acceptable residential limits, and the problem will be solved. Approve the permit again without requiring any fix, and the problem continues. We need to get off this merry-go-round. Denying the permit is not punitive, it's preventative. So I'm asking you, please deny this permit until the sound system is corrected. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Pelkey. Seeing no one else, closed citizen comment period. So just a couple rebuts to this is I did have quite a lengthy and I thought pretty successful conversation with Supervisor Vincent, and we talked, and it's the same concerns. We're going to deal with them, and our goal is a win-win. The fact that the council found the money with Madam Director of Finance to put out and get a third party to come in here that's a huge stride that is being downplayed. The fact that you can go online and watch in real time the decibel limits that are and the decibels that are being reported in real time, that's a huge stride forward for transparency. The words lab versus field calibration for the sound meters, they are annually field calibrated. The perfect world would be lab calibrated, where you change out and send them off to the lab and then they come back in, but you have another set there which you rotate. So that makes sense. There's things that are going to be dealt with that. Absolutely, I don't think there's anyone, I'm not going to speak for any of the other electeds, that don't want loud projected profanity. Of course we don't. Date and time, Dana. Of course we don't. And dealing with Mr. Zimmerman, I believe he's got a plan. And as this agenda moves forward tonight, there'll be a little more light shed on what we're doing and a little bit why we're doing it. But to Mrs. Knoll, we're looking at the goal is win-win. I mean, we've had, prior to me being up here as mayor in my 6 years, these sound checks, mayor never appeared at them. The Knolls allow us on their property to do this, and I think that's, again, a huge stride forward to make it right. Is it perfect? No. Will anything ever be perfect? No. But better. For sure, better. And we hear you loud and clear, everybody up here. And, to be, unfortunately, these alders and myself, we get attacked all the time. But to call the elected spineless, like the former mayor did in an email to the city, I thought was disgusting, degrading, and very cowardly. Knowing what it takes to get things done, whether it's financial, whether it's planning, technical, doesn't happen overnight. So shame on him for that cowardly email. So we are going to move. When we get down to this, and there's reasons why, and we'll explain, but absolutely we're hearing everything. Supervisor, I appreciate you coming here tonight. I think we had an excellent conversation. It was lengthy, but I think it was, between the two of us, we can chatterbox all night, but I'm saying, I think we have, understand the concerns. I think I conveyed that, yes, we are well aware of them, and we do have thoughts on how to get through them, but I'll leave it like that for now. So let's move on to item C. Approval of the regular common council meeting minutes of February 18th, 2026. Is there a motion?
Make the motion to approve.
Second.
Is there any further discussion? Seeing all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Ayes have it. There are no hearings. Under E as Edward, organizational mayor commission appointments. Randy Rios, 4313 West Hunters Court. Alderman D4. Civic Celebrations, 1 year unexpired term expiring June 30th, 2026.
I'll make the motion.
Second.
First and second, all those in favor?
Aye. It's roll call.
Oh, you told me not to do any roll calls tonight because of your voice. Madam Clerk had a procedure, so we're trying to be very nice here tonight. Well, I'm not going to tell you what it was, but all right.
Alderman Pecorelli.
Aye.
Alderwoman Eichman.
Aye.
Alderman Hassan.
Aye.
Alderwoman Day.
Aye.
Alderman Salus.
Aye.
Alderman Craig.
Aye.
6 ayes on those, motion carries. I'm going to try. All right, there are no letters under F. So what I'd like to do now is blocking.
Like,
I know. Well, we have a different name for it. So I'm gonna hold off for a second, okay? And there's a reason why, because I want everybody to really get behind you, Blake. Okay. So now we're gonna go to letter G, but I'd like to see us. We're gonna take letter G6 first. G6 as the first order of business, and knowing that we are waiting for more information and we're waiting for more. There's a number of things that we're waiting for that the neighbors will be very happy about. So I'm looking for a motion to table this until next meeting.
I'll make the motion to table.
On the second.
So we got a first and second to table to March 17th. We're going to have further discussion in a minute here. So it'll be tabled till March 17th. We have a first and a second. Alderwoman?
Thank you. So just, this is real brief, I'm not gonna get down in the weeds if we're gonna table this, but, I know it's cliche, but a statement that I really like, is what's the definition of insanity? Doing something over and over again and expecting a different outcome. And with regard to some of the things that were brought up this evening, I believe it was Supervisor Logston who spoke about the prior sound study that was done and how the recommendations from that were not actually implemented by the venue itself. I suspect, though we haven't said yet, but I suspect one of the main reasons for tabling this is because there's anticipation of some portion or the entire sound study that we paid for from JPM will come in for us to review. But with that being said, is the venue going to take any of those recommendations and put them in place, and would there be enough time to put them in place prior to an event at the end of May? So I'm not entirely certain that while the sound study is important and will give us things to move forward, I'm not sure in this instance that it actually makes a difference if that's why we're tabling it. It's a more rhetorical question because obviously they're not here to answer that question. None of us up here can answer if they would take any of those recommendations to heart and actually be able to put them in before this particular event. But if that's what we're waiting for, I don't know if it's really worth it. That's the question.
Okay. Fair enough. We have a first. Does somebody else want? Alderman?
Yeah, so just I guess from my standpoint, waiting to see what's in there. Is there anything in there that we can actually be a short duration? It's speculative right now. Is what I look at is it or is it not? And the way I look at it is I'd rather have the information on what are they, and is there anything in there that's you can set it up for an event and take it back down again, or those types of things, right? So, but right now it's a complete guess. So I agree. Are they going to be done or anything? But without having that information, I'm in favor of tabling just from the standpoint of see what's there.
Alderman Sluse.
Yes, indeed, I am in favor of tabling the item, but I'm just wondering that we received some information about the sound study. So are we expecting to receive a recommendation for mitigations anytime soon? Is that what's the anticipated outcome with the delay?
So I have a prepared statement, if you'd like me to read that. Okay.
Madam Director of Administration, you've got the floor.
The city entered into a professional services agreement with JPM Acoustics in August of 2025 for sound monitoring and mitigation services related to Ballpark Commons. The total contract value was $78,500. The scope of work as approved and incorporated into the signed agreement includes not only monitoring but also environmental noise modeling, predictive analysis, and a mitigation plan identifying solutions and execution costs. The contract provides the final payment is due only upon the city's acceptance of the final report and all deliverables. The city has received monitoring data from the Tacos and Tequila event. However, the comprehensive mitigation deliverable contemplated in the contract has not been provided, so it hasn't been accepted. The city is enforcing the contract as written. We remain prepared to review the final deliverables promptly and process payment consistent with the contract terms.
Like JPM, are they going to send us these recommendations anytime aside from the money issues? What are we expecting to get from them in the next 2 weeks?
I don't have any expectations at this point because we keep going round and round with what scope of work was actually decided upon. It's very clear in our agreement that whatever is listed within the agreement and not necessarily somebody's proposal is the scope of work, and that is the contract. And currently, there's just been disputes over that.
So there is a chance that by the next meeting, we might not still have the information. That's still a possibility. Because it's going to be very difficult for us to make any approval or to move on these events without having concrete information moving forward. Thank you.
But to that point as well, the next meeting, there will be a representative here, that's the plan, to also discuss some of the things that they're willing to make changes on that would help get this to the goal line for the win-win.
A representative from where, Mayor, please?
The goal would be a representative from Rock Ventures that would come up here and talk about some things. That is the goal, that's the plan at this point. So, to your point. So, anyone else? If not, we've got a first and a second. Is this a roll call now?
You may want to, yes.
Yeah. I didn't want to hurt your...
Alderman Craig.
Aye.
Alderman Salus.
Aye.
Alderwoman Day.
No.
Alderman Hassan.
Aye.
Alderwoman Eichman.
Aye.
Alderman Peccarelli.
Aye.
5 ayes, 1 no, motion carries. Returning back to regular order of business for G1. What? Yeah. Before we dive into G1, Mr. Weeding, would you please come up to the table here? Sure. So, for those of you that don't know, we had our human resources manager retire after, I believe, almost 21 years. We did a very exhaustive search, lots of high-end interviews, department heads were brought in. It was an excellent process. It was thorough, and Blake Weeding was ultimately selected, and we are very, very proud to have him on the team. And it's just been a breath of fresh air since he started. What, last week Monday?
Yes, sir.
Last week, and it's been I'm sure an overwhelming garden hose of information, but you come here with a great deal of experience. So what I'd like to do is just, if you want to give a little brief history, and then,
Bring this right.
Oh, gosh.
yeah, just like karaoke, like we talked about in the interview, just like karaoke.
Don't stop believing.
Oh, overplay.
Yeah, so my name is Blake Weeding. I'm the new Human Resources Administrator for the city. And I have some experience in the public sector working in human resources. I come from the Muskego-Norway School District. I've been there, in a couple different capacities. And, it's been about 19 years. The past, about half of that were in human resources operations.
Can you speak closer and a little louder?
Oh, yes, sir.
Thank you.
So focus on employee relations, benefit administration, just partnering with our department heads to kind of focus on the HR strategy. So like I tell everybody, I have an open door policy. Any questions that you guys might have, I don't know how many meetings like this I'll come to. Of course, I can come to anyone that you guys would like me to, but open door policy. Feel free to ask me any questions you would have at any time.
Yeah, so since it's not on the agenda, it's simply right now just an introduction phase. If I would encourage any of the electeds to speak with you offline, off record, in your office, come in there, barge in there. You always have great treats.
That's right.
You will. So,
If I may.
You may.
Thank you. I just wanted to welcome Blake, and I wanted to bring him before the council just so you guys had an opportunity to put a name with a face and get a little bit of time with him. But so he was gracious to come here kind of last minute to do this. So thank you so much. And welcome.
Yeah, thank you very much.
All right, thank you and welcome. Going back to G1, resolution authorize acceptance of stormwater facilities maintenance agreement and stormwater access easement from Franklin Area School District, Franklin High School, 8222 South 51st Street, tax key number 807-9999-001. Mr. City Engineer, good evening and welcome.
Thank you. So what's in front of you this evening is standard procedure for any developments. This is for the new addition at the Franklin High School property. Standard procedures to accept a stormwater maintenance agreement in addition to the stormwater maintenance easement for their BMPs, or their best management practices for handling stormwater at the high school.
Okay, there is a recommended motion, and is it for
I'll make the motion to adopt.
I second.
First and a second, all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Ayes have it, motion carries. G2, a resolution to amend resolution number 2021-7722, imposing conditions and restrictions for the approval of a special use for overnight parking for vehicles exceeding 8,000 pounds, manufactured gross vehicle weight, to allow for warehouse distribution and storage uses upon property located at 3617 West Oakwood Road. Joe Wisniewski Crohn's Inc., applicant, Franklin Industrial 1 LLC property owner. Ms. X from Planning, good evening and welcome.
Thank you, Mayor. So this request is an amendment to an approved special use for this property, which is located just south of Oakwood Road and Hickory Street. It is located in the business section of PDL 39. And so that area of the PDL encourages industrial uses, warehouse is one of those uses. The application before you is for the existing structure that's there. There are no exterior changes proposed. Applicants did add a number of fire doors recently, which were administratively approved. There were no public comments at the public hearing for this item, apart from a request from Milwaukee County for more information about how maintenance is currently being conducted around the existing stormwater pond. But as I noted, there are no site changes. So we're investigating that issue, but it is essentially separate from this approval. So I'm happy to answer questions about the use. Otherwise, staff is recommending approval.
So staff is recommending approval. Questions, comments? There's a motion here. Oh, Mr. City Attorney.
With regard to the correction instrument, going through the council materials, that gets recorded with the certified survey map?
For the next item, yes, that's correct.
Okay, thank you.
Okay,
I'll make the motion to adopt the resolution.
I'll second.
So we have a first and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Ayes have it, motion carries. G3, a resolution to accept a modification of access and release of a setback upon property located on part of 2710 West Drexel Avenue, 1 and 2 Northwestern Mutual Way, tax key number 786-9980003, Brian Conyon, Northwestern Mutual Life Insurance, Northwestern Mutual Life Insurance property owners. Mayor, next, you still have the floor.
Thank you, Mayor. So before you this evening is this item which needs to precede the certified survey map adjustment, which is coming as item 4. But Costco recently requested the creation of a new parcel so that they can develop their facility there. The Wisconsin Department of Transportation had a number of restrictions upon the parcel, which they have agreed to release at the request of the applicant. The municipality has to confirm that we agree with this. It doesn't affect the development standards for the planned development district. Staff is recommending approval of this, and we have a draft resolution here to allow us to accept this change, and then the mayor can execute the agreement.
Excellent. Alderwoman Eichmann.
Thank you, Mayor. I just wanted to make note that I will be abstaining from G3 and G4. Thank you.
Excellent. All right. There's a listed motion here. Someone want to make that motion?
I'll make that motion. I second.
First and a second. This will be a roll call, please. Unfortunately, I'm sorry.
Alderman Peccarelli.
Aye.
Alderwoman Eichmann.
Abstain.
Alderman Hassan.
Aye.
Alderwoman Day.
Aye.
Alderman Salus.
Aye.
Alderman Craig.
Aye.
5 ayes, no noes, 1 abstention. Motion carries. G4, a resolution conditionally approving a revised 2-lot certified survey map being a part of parcel 1 in certified survey map number 7389, being in the southwest 1/4 and southeast 1/4 of the northeast 1/4 and the northeast 1/4 and southeast 1/4 of the southeast 1/4, all in section 12 in Township 5 North, Range 21 East, in the city of Franklin, Milwaukee County, Wisconsin. Brian Nolan, Wisconsin, Northwestern Mutual Life Insurance, Northwestern Mutual Life Insurance property owners. Mayor, next, you still have that? Now, you could put all sorts of stuff, and nobody would ever know. Because I'd say 99% got lost in this, except maybe someone like you or Regetz that would follow. Maybe even Peccarelli's could be sharp. But this is crazy. I mean, who thinks of this stuff? You got the floor.
Yeah, thank you, Mayor. So because the previously discussed setback was required to be shown on the face of the certified survey map, the applicants have requested that we approve a revised version of that CSM prior to recording. So This is essentially exactly the same CSM, but the setback is no longer being shown. There's an exhibit here where there's kind of text written over itself, but it's been removed. So staff is recommending approval. This doesn't affect anything beyond the DOT's release of that.
Okay, further discussion before the motion? There's a motion listed.
Make that motion.
I second.
First and a second, roll call please.
Alderman Craig.
Aye.
Alderman Sluse.
Aye.
Alderwoman Day.
Aye.
Alderman Hassan.
Aye.
Alderwoman Eichman.
Abstain.
Alderman Peccarelli.
Aye.
5 ayes, no noes, 1 abstention, motion carries. G5 and D2, a resolution imposing conditions and restrictions for the approval of a conditional use for an attached accessory dwelling unit upon property located at 8866 West Putes Road, tax key number 839-999-7009.
I'll make the motion to adopt.
Good.
1 second.
We have a first and a second. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Ayes have it, motion carries. G6 is already dealt with. G7, as the chief slowly creeps up, fire chief to provide a brief update on fire department facilities and mold remediation project at fire station number 1. Chief, good evening and welcome.
Good evening to the council. Do have predominantly a very positive report for you this evening regarding fire station number 1. To begin with, we have resumed operations from the station as of last Friday afternoon. In addition, all of our administrative staff has moved back into the station. So we are back to operating from our facility. Last time that I spoke to you at the end of January, we were in a stretch of extremely cold weather, and the thing that was really limiting our progress was the ability to do the water testing on the exterior of the building. Requires a couple of days of temperatures above freezing. It also requires the stars to align to have the testing company, the Johnson Controls representative, and everybody able to come out. Pleased to report that we did have a date early this in February. We completed testing on the eastern elevation, and our fears of leakage through the brick, which brick repair and masonry work would have been a very expensive investment for us. The preliminary or the first phase of the testing on the eastern elevation of the station indicated that the water intrusion was mainly due to the window assemblies in the day room and the kitchen areas. So the good news there is that windows are less costly than brickwork to have to replace. We do need to complete testing on the northern or the front part of the station. However, following those tests, it gave me confidence that we were able to pull the trigger, begin to do some rebuilding work inside the station. And when I say inside, it would be walls to our dormitory, our kitchen, areas that would allow the crew to re-inhabit the building. So we quickly engaged contractors to complete that work so that we could begin 24-hour operations. So right now, the outside walls, if you can picture the outside walls, we are operating in what I like to call a little bit rustic conditions, that we're down to the wall studs, the brick showing. Some people say, hey, that's the latest fashion trend. So we're operating a little bit rustic right now, but the good news is we do have an environment that we're able to resume operations. And I did include, I know that several of the alders have reported questions from their constituents about where we were at budget-wise, everything that's been done so far. So I tried to include in your packet a breakdown of all of our expenditures so far.
Very good.
If you have specific questions, I'm happy to answer them, as well as I'm happy to meet with you offline, as well as give a tour of our building so you can see where we're at. But again, to reiterate, this process has been really a winding road, and we will be bringing a report and a recommendation forward to the council regarding our facilities needs for the future. The fire department right now, a new facility or a remodeled facility has been in the 5-year city plan for quite a while, and we do believe that it is time to move forward. So once we are kind of clear of this project. We will be bringing some recommendations forward. We did interview 3 outside firms who had an interest in doing a facilities analysis for us to bring to the council to lay out different options for you. So we'll be bringing that forward.
Thank you, Chief. Questions from the council? If not, there's a motion to receive and place
I'll
on file.
make the motion to receive and place on file. Thank you.
A second.
Okay, I know. We've got a first and a second. Alderman Salus, you got the
Just
floor.
a question to the chief. With the current condition, like, I'm happy to hear that the staff is back at the station and so on. So is the situation is going to be sustainable? Are we going to survive with the current condition until we come up with a, idea how we go about the space, remodeling and the new facility and so on? So far we are stable, kind of.
Yes, we did. When you use the term temporary, it has from our command staff meetings and meeting with our firefighters local. When you use the term temporary, there's a broad interpretation of what that means. Are you going to have a sink that's suspended by 2x4 stilts? We did expend funding to provide a solution that we should be good for several months. If not a little bit longer if needed, until we can come up with that long-term plan of how to best invest the taxpayer dollars into the facility. So we're stable, and I would call it a comfortable environment, especially for our employees that are there around the clock.
Thank you.
Yep.
Good. We got a first and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? As have a motion carries. Thank you, Chief. Request council approval to accept a $700 public donation from the residents of the Sacred Heart at Monastery Lake Senior Complex and to spend the donation towards firefighter health and wellness. Okay. Alderman?
Yes,
The floor.
in the council action requested, it says accept $622. And the top it says $700.
Right. I know. We're going to get to the bottom of that right now.
Okay.
Correct number is 700. The very kind ladies that came over from the bake sale, it is 700. I take responsibility for the clerical error.
Then I make the motion to approve.
I'll second.
First and second, all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? As have a motion carries. G9, an ordinance to amend ordinance 2025-2712, an ordinance adopting the 2026 annual budget for the Health Grant Fund to provide resources and appropriations for the approved 2026-2027 Public Health Infrastructure Grant. Good evening, Director Gottlieb. How are you?
Good, thanks.
Good. Rock and roll. You got the floor.
Okay, pretty much laid it all out in the council action sheet, but financial administrative thing that we need to do is carry the funding forward to this budget year. We did not have the grant contract at the time that the budget was submitted.
Make the motion to approve.
Second.
The only error or technical correction that needs to be adjusted is the resolution. I believe states the 2025 budget.
Is it? Okay.
So just in section 1, but that's.
So, Madam Director of Finance.
Budget that needs to be adjusted.
So, Madam Director of Finance recommends that technical change. With said technical change, do we have a first and a second?
No, I don't want to.
126.
I'm just in the body of it.
Midway down, section 1.
I'm sorry.
Got the 2026 health
Alderman
budget
Craig made
statement.
first.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'll second.
First and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Ayes have a motion carries. G10, an ordinance amendment to Chapter 169, license and permits associated with the Health Department. Still have the floor, ma'am.
All right, I'm joined today by Angie Byer, one of our sanitarians in the health department. So Angie works in the environmental health program that does inspections on licensed establishments. And we did a robust analysis of our fee schedule, compared to municipalities in our area. Also, this was funded by the Department of Trade and the Department of Agriculture and Consumer Protections to do a update to our fee schedule for 2026 to account for their own changes in the program. So we laid it out in a very long chart within your council action sheet. We do have one administrative change in the council action sheet. It's correct.
No,
Or
yes,
it-
council
It's
action.
correct, and in the resolution, it's incorrect, but under the pools fee, page 193 in your own packet, but it's swimming pool complex with features pre-inspection for some reason, or swimming.
Could you
pool-
say that again slower?
Yes. In your resolution, which is page 193 in your ordinance. Which is page 193 in your packet. It dropped a number on there, so we had it printed as 61, and it should actually be $617.
For swimming pool complex with features license?
Correct.
And
So
that
it's
should be,
correct as it reads in the council action sheet, but incorrect in the ordinance update. On page 193.
thank you, it's clear enough.
All right.
Discussion from members of the council?
I'll make the motion to adopt the ordinance.
I would second that.
We have a first, I think Alderman, I thought you were going to hop in. Okay, first and second, all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Ayes have it, motion carries. 11, Franklin Health Department Brief Annual Report 2025.
Brief annual report.
Oh, I'm sorry, did I must have.
Alright. We did not bring a presentation this year because of the technical challenges that we've heard of. But we do have the printed version that's here to pass out to the council.
They are amazing. The quality that you put out is absolutely amazing, and that's exactly how our city newsletter should look, because this is really impressive.
Terrific. Well, thank you. I hope you like this year's just as much as last year's. But to keep it brief,
Here.
universally across the board, the health department saw an increase in both need for our services and usages of our services. We have some bolded green numbers throughout the entire report that just highlights counts from the year. And then notably, we were discussing what to bring forward, but we're proud that we reached over 10,000 people in our community with our health outreach and the efforts over the course of the year as well. So Ellen is here with me. She's our public health strategist and plays a big role in the long-term strategy of the health department and organizing our outreach and efforts. So happy to join you and have you look at that through today.
So I encourage everyone to keep this, and take a look at it. It is outstanding, really is sharp.
Indeed.
Excellent job. Questions, comments from members of the council?
I would be pleased to make the motion to accept the report and place on file.
Excellent. There's a first. Is there a second? Second by Alderman Craig. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Ayes have it. Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. It is really awesome. Authorization to adopt a resolution to execute the 2026-2029 service agreement with Crisis 24 Inc. for the City of Franklin Emergency Notification System. Who is taking
I'll make the
this?
motion to adopt.
Good, perfect.
Second.
We have a first and a second. Mr. City Attorney, you've got the floor.
That's a very minor change with regard to workers' compensation in the council packet draft. As the city has an additional insured, normally that's not the situation. And the certificate of insurance in the packet does not list the city as additional insured. So how about motion to include, subject to potential technical corrections by city staff?
Is that your amended motion?
That is my amended motion. Thank
That's
you.
my amended second too.
Excellent. Amended first and second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Ayes have it. Motion carries. So we are going to, why don't we knock this other stuff out real quick? Going at a very good pace.
Just in case we run out of recording
Right.
space too.
Exactly. Okay.
I have another one here.
So we're going to item H as in Henry. Not Ms. Henry, but H as in Henry. Who's taking this?
Me.
Oh, Alderwoman Eichmann, you've got the floor.
Thank you, Mayor. License Committee, Alderman Craig and I met this evening. Everything on the License Committee agenda was approved this evening. I'll make the motion.
I'll second. First and second. This will be a roll call.
They don't listen to me.
Can't listen. Let's go.
Clearly.
Alderman Peccarelli.
Aye.
Alderwoman Eichman.
Aye.
Alderman Hassan.
Aye.
Alderwoman Day.
Aye.
Alderman Sluse.
Aye.
Alderman Craig.
Aye. 6 ayes and no nays, motion carries. I is in Ida. There are 3 points here. This will be a roll call as well. City vouchers with an ending date of February 26, 2026, in amount of $6,616,636.66. Item 2, payroll dated February 20th, 2026, in the amount of $470,764.68, and matching payments of the various payroll reductions in the amount of $578,957.50, plus city matching payments. And estimated payroll dated March 6, 2026, in the amount of $478,000, and payments of the various payroll reductions in the amount of $291,000, plus city matching payments. Is there a motion?
I'll make the motion.
Second.
First and seconded by Alderwoman Day. Roll call, please.
Alderman Craig.
Aye.
Alderman Sluse.
Aye.
Alderman Day.
Aye.
Alderman Hassan.
Aye.
Alderwoman Eichman.
Aye.
Alderman Peccarelli.
Aye.
6 ayes and no nays, motion carries. Returning back to item G13. Going to item G13. Looking to entertain a motion to enter closed session pursuant to Wisconsin State Statute 1985, sub 1 sub E, for market competition and bargaining reasons, to deliberate and consider terms relating to potential commercial, industrial, manufacturing developments and proposals, and the investing of public funds and governmental actions in relation thereto, and to affect such developments, including the terms and provisions of potential development agreements for, including but not limited to, the properties at the southwest corner of South Oakwood Park Drive and West Ryan Road, and to re-enter open session at the same place thereafter, to act on such matters discussed therein as it deems appropriate. Is there that motion?
I make the motion to go to
Second.
closed.
Okay, we got a first and a second, and this will be also roll call, please.
Alderman Craig.
Aye.
Alderman Sluse.
Aye.
Alderwoman Day.
Aye.
Alderman Hassan.
Aye.
Alderwoman Eichman.
Aye.
Alderman Peccarelli.
Aye.
6 ayes, no noes. We're going to be slowly going into closed session at 7:46. We're going to take we'll take an 8-minute break, please. Yep. It's a random number. It's from a random guy.
Come on.
All right.
Say that again.
Let me know when we're off. We're going to lock her down. See you all in 8 minutes. So if somebody could pop them doors, please. Let me know when we're live. Let me know when we're good to go with the recorder. You did? It's 8:12 p.m. We are back in open session. Is there a motion to take no action on the closed item?
How do you make the
You
motion?
don't need a motion to take.
Just no action taken. No action taken. Great. That's fine. Is there a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
A second.
First and second, all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Ayes have it. Motion carries. We're adjourned at 8:12 p.m. We